brand is the identity of a specific product, service, or business. Wikipedia defines and states with reference to a brand thus. Says a brand can take many forms, including the name, the sign, the color, the symbol, or a combination of all this. So when we talk about a brand, even though a brand is the identity of a product or a service or a business, Wikipedia is saying that that brand can come in different ways. It can be just the name. So the brand can come as a name. So when you hear the name, you recognize it. The brand can be a sign. It can just be a particular sign that you see. You all can look at all the pictures by the side. When you see the sign, you see the Nike sign. You can just see the sign and you know that that's Nike. So it can be a name, it can be a sign, it can be a color. It can also be a symbol. So when you look at all those, you see Shell, you see Volkswagen, you see Mercedes-Benz, you see Apple. What's the butterfly one? Eh? What's this butterfly one? Eh? I don't know that one, but I know Nike. Hello? So we have Shell, we have Volkswagen, we have Mercedes-Benz, we have Apple, and then we have Nike. That butterfly, I don't know that one. Eh? Not Flutter Wave. Okay, Flutter Wave. Okay. It's new, okay. So they are going. Some people know that, me, I don't know. So, but you get the message, right? Okay. Now, where did this issue of branding start from? Because many times we forget that the Bible is the roots of many of the things that we have in our world today. Many of the things they teach you in business school, in management school, they are all biblical principles. Principles of delegation, principles of planning, principles of hard work, system and structure. All these things are from the Bible. But because people do not want to acknowledge the Bible, then they get into trouble. Now, when you talk about branding, branding started from farmers and herders. It's actually herdsmen in the days of Bible. You remember that herdsmen has been there, I'll show you know. They've been there from Bible days. They are the one that normally trouble the children of Jethro. When they go and fetch water, the herdsmen will come and trouble them. So it's been there. And so they use iron stamp to differentiate their cattle. You remember the crisis between Abraham and Lot. As far back as then, Abraham and Lot had a problem because their cattle were so much and they were not branded. So there was no way to know which one was Abraham's own and which one was Lot's own, and the whole thing got mixed together. You also remember when Jacob went to the house of Laban, in order for him to be able to differentiate which one was his, they had to come up with a brand. So, okay, anyone that has spots is my own. So that's where branding came from. So branding came from the cattle rearers and herders from a Jewish culture that have existed thousands and thousands of years. And what they would do is they would take a hot iron. So they might take an iron and shape it into maybe A, B, C, or F, or whatever, and then they put it in fire, and then it's very hot, and then they imprint it on the cattle, so that wherever the cattle is, no, that's my own, that one is my own, that one is my own, that one is my own. So it's all about identification. It's all about being able to come into a place where you identify a particular brand. Now, when you hear the word branding, when it comes to the protection of your ideas, we have what we call copyright, we have what we call patent rights, and we have what we call a trademark. Copyright, patent rights, and then we have what we call a trademark. Now, when you write a book or come up with a magazine, when you write something that is voluminous, what you need is a copyright. So you copyright ideas that are documented in book form. So you copyright ideas that are documented. So when you write a book, you don't trade it, you don't trademark it, you don't patent right it, you copyright it to say, I'm the owner of this product. Now, when it comes to patent right, you patent an invention. Something that you invented, something that you are the one that brought it into existence. So you get a patent for it to say, I'm the one that produced this thing. So you get a patent for it. But you trademark a name or a logo. So when you have a name or a phrase that belongs to you, or a word that belongs to you, or a logo that belongs to you, then you can now trademark it. So a legally protected brand is called a trademark. Now, when you look at this arc is the McDonald's arc. And now it's trademark, but their own color is not this color. Right? It's not, the color is not coming out. I think the color here is even different from what it was on. So, you understand, depending on so different device. So, but the color is actually supposed to be yellow, right? There's a particular shade of yellow that they use. So that's a legally. So you can't take this now and try to use it for yourself. You'll be infringing on a trademark. How many of you remember the Coca-Cola, the way it is written, that font itself, that the way you can't write Coca-Cola like that. That's a trademark. So anything that is a logo, a phrase like Coca-Cola, a word, they can trademark it. So you can trademark a phrase. For instance, now, if you hear the word common sense is not common, I've trademarked that. So when Ben Murray Bruce was saying, I just want to make common sense, people told me, why not sue him? I said, I like the guy. He's making sense. Because actually I have the love is not enough, matrimony. I've trademarked all those words. Do you understand? So you can do that for what you do. So now, let's look at few facts. Few vital facts about notable brands. Because we're looking at the power of personal branding, but it's important for us to just have a general overview and understanding about the issue of branding, and then we'll zero in it to you as an individual. Now, there are 5 things that I would like us to explore when it comes to facts about notable brand. Number 1 is what we call the brand experience. The brand experience. The brand experience is the experience you have when you interact with the brand. Let's say, for instance, let's use what we can be familiar with, a church. If you go to MFM today, there is an experience you have. When you go to MFM, there is an experience you have. If you go to Christ Embassy, you can't have the same experience in Christ Embassy as you had in MFM. If you come to Calvary Bible Church, there is an experience you will have. If you go to House on the Rock, there is an experience you will have. If you go to Anglican Church, there is an experience. If you go to Kwaibo, there is an experience you will have. If you go to Kerubu and Seraph or Celestial Church of Christ, there is an experience you will have. When you get in there, do you know there are churches you go to? The signboard and everything looks Pentecostal, charismatic, and word of faith. But when you enter, you just begin to feel that, even from the time they start, from the praise worship, the way the thing is standing, you see that this one will be like saying, everything you just begin to see. So that's an experience. So a brand experience is the experience you have when you interact with that brand. How does it make you feel? Do you come out of that place being satisfied with what you get? So for every organization, you have to ensure you structure whatever you do in such a way that whosoever experiences your brand does not leave wondering whether it was worth that experience. Do you understand? They don't leave wondering. For instance, we had an amazing time yesterday. There's a guy that just relocated to Nigeria, and he contacted me. He wanted me to be his mentor to help him settle down in the country, and he registered for one of our real estate conference that is coming up in May. So he paid, and then I said, just join me on social media. You will know everything I'm doing. So last week Sunday, I had an Insta Live session on the new rules of law for single. I was there, and I told people they can still register for the singles meeting. So he registered. He sent me a text. I've registered for the VIP. That means I'll be able to see you face to face when I come on Saturday. I said, no problem, come. So yesterday, he came to introduce himself to me. He said, I'm the guy, I'm the one from London. And I said, oh, how are you? I said, so how was the experience tonight? Did you enjoy? Was it what? He said, oh my God, it's amazing. And I said, huh. So that's an experience. But somebody could have come and said, it's not what this will just hyping the whole thing. You know, there are times that people will hype things. When you get there, you feel duped. You just feel like these people have duped. I wish there's somebody I can hold their neck and collect my money back. So that's a brand experience. Now, the second thing is the brand image. The brand image. Now, the brand image talks about the picture that brand paints in your mind. When you hear the word, when you hear the phrase, when you hear the name, what comes to your mind? So when I say Fulani Earthman, or I say Mietiala, what comes to your mind? What image does that brand portray in your mind? So that's a brand image. Now, I hope you know that the brand image is a function of perception, not your experience. It's just when you hear Calvary, what comes to your mind? Because when this church started, we went through a lot. And over a period of time, there are people you will meet now, and you mention Calvary, they will tell you different things about Calvary. At a point, they say, it's all these small boys, young girls. That was the image they had. At a point, that church is rich people. If you don't have clothes, don't go there. Even if you don't have car, they will drive you. It's just rich people. Poor people don't go to that church. That's another image. And another person say, that church, very nice. They did street light for the community. They did borehole. They're always giving food. So a brand image is when people hear your name. When they hear Olumide Emmanuel, what comes to mind? Did they think, I can't forget that man? Or they say, oh, that man, oh, thank God, that man. So that's the image. So the image is a function of perception. So you need to manage your image and manage the perception that people have about you. You are not being deceptive, but you are just being careful and being strategic to ensure that they don't see you as someone that, because at the end of the day, when they want to talk to people about you, they will talk about the image or the experience. And if they have not experienced you, they will talk about image. And let me give you a way this thing works. Somebody can have an image about you, and somebody else has an experience about you, and when they come in contact with each other, somebody is trying to share their image, and they say, no, I've been there. I know him. It's not true. Why? That is why experience is greater than image. So, in trying to build a good image, make sure the experience is key. Because no matter what they say about you, let it be that the day they finally experience you, they realize that all the image they have had is a graven image and a false image that needs to be consumed. Hello? Okay, number 3 is the brand management. The way you manage your brand. The brand management. The brand management. I've been privileged to associate with a lot of individuals, and I've had to sit down with some people to say, come, this is what people are saying about you, and I know it's not true, but it means that you're not managing your brand very well. It means that you are not being intentional and deliberate about ensuring that people don't have a wrong image or a wrong picture about who you are. So, what is brand management? Is you being intentional, strategic, and structural about putting systems and structures in place to ensure that your brand is well managed. So you have to sit down to say, okay, no, we can't do that, we can't do that, we can't do that. For instance, we're going to be in Asaba next month for a 3-day School of Money conference and ministers conference. And I went to preach in Benin the last weekend, Friday, Saturday of January. And when I finished speaking, one of the politicians in Asaba came, said he wanted to see me. I said, what's the problem? He said, well, that we heard that you are coming to Asaba. I'm the one in charge of economic empowerment. Can we work together on this conference you are doing? I said, me, I've already finished my conference. My ambitions are ready. My billboard are ready. Everything is ready. So if you want us to do anything together, it's either I can give you one day to do your own, or we'll come another time and all the stuff. So he said, no, we can get. So he said, let me talk to your guy. So they had the meeting. They now called me. By the time they called me, I was in New York. Now listen to where I'm going to. The guy now says, sir, the hall you book is small, but we have gotten the governor to give us a very big hall so that everybody will come there and this and that and this and that. He said, but we might need to do another bill or make adjustment on that. I said, no, we have to say, I'm thinking, they say you have printed 5,000. We can just use biro to scratch the thing and write another one. I said, what did you say? Me, Olumide Emmanuel. I will use biro to be scratching ambi. I said, don't you know that if they give them an ambi, they see my name and they see biro and they are, why you're serious? I said, I can't do that. I said, we'll rather print another one. That is managing your brand. And then we're discussing, and I said, okay, so the hall is big. So I told my guys, I said, so what do you think about the hall? My son from Onitsha that went there with them, and my son in said, say, Baba, this hall, there is no ACO. I said, forget it, I'm not coming. Let's do our own program. How can I preach 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the night, for 3 days inside a place where there is no air condition? It's not pride, it's not arrogance. Hello? I said, sorry, if there is no AC, forget it. Let's use the hotel we have already booked. If they cannot come, let me do my program. I don't have time for government and politician wahala. We'll do their own later. That is managing your brand. Do you understand? So you have to be conscious. Because I was like, it matter now. It's like a coffee biro. Waste of money. No. You see that extra 80,000 you will spend to reprint will help your brand more than the poverty mentality of Ejekalo Biro. So many times, you don't manage your brand well and you get into trouble. You might be a musician, you might be an actor, you might be a comedian. And it's okay, this program is coming up so day. You now call them the day to. I remember we invited someone for a meeting here, and then everything has been put in place. Someone had introduced her to me that, okay, she's good, we can invite. So we invited her. Do you know what happened? In the morning of that day, she was now calling. I didn't know that the place is very far like that. Oh, I just checked Google. It's a demo. I can't drive to that place. So I don't think I'll be able to make it. On the day of the program, she was telling us a program we have invited almost 4 months and later did everything probably. It was the day of the program, Saturday morning. So I just checked Google now. It's about 2 hours from the island. I can't drive that I may not be able to come. So when they called me, I said, Pastor, I said, so what did you say when she said that? He said, we just told her that you have to come. We have I said, well, no problem. So she said maybe she would take Uber, whatever. So she finally came, and it was amazing. She spoke it was an amazing meeting. Because I don't know her one-on-one, I couldn't be sitting her down to say, so I now called the person that introduced her to me. I said, come. I said, this lady you introduced, she did amazingly well. In fact, it was a very powerful meeting. I said, but this is what happened on the morning. I said, you are also a pastor, and you understand the error of that. I said, so tell her that that's not a good image, because she did very well. But in my mind now, I can't invite her back. Because now, even no matter how good she is, she's going to be an unstable, problematic person that can put me under unnecessary pressure that I don't want to in my life. I should tell her, because that I can't invite her back. So since you are the one that know her, help her understand the error of telling your host the day of the program that you check Google. Ojino. Something that they have invited you 4 months ago. That is brand management. Many of you, it's not the devil that is after you, it's lack of wisdom. You are not managing your brand very well. I have musicians that I mentor. I have comedians that I mentor. And I tell them all this. If you are not going to be there, say you are not going to be there. Don't book a meeting. And then a bigger meeting comes. I'm only master 700. This one will pay 200. You now change to go for 700. You are at the end of the day, nobody will invite you again. You may think you are reigning. So, brand management. Number 4, brand orientation. Brand orientation. Now, brand orientation is you educating your workforce and your stakeholders about your brand. Brand orientation is educating your workforce and your stakeholders about your brand. So who are your workforce? People that work with you, your staff, your managers, your ministers. That's why we do workers class. That's why we do training. And we say, no. We don't do that in Calvary. We have a workers manual. We have staff handbook. We have all. Why? We are, let's look. No, we don't do that here. So when you are employed in this ministry, we give you a staff handbook. We take you to an orientation to know that in this church, this one will not happen. We don't agree with this. There are people in the office that we have sacked because they impregnated somebody out of wedlock. But you can't do that in a bank. That somebody, so that's their personal life. But when you come here, we orientate you from day one. Do you understand now? To say, okay, if you are joining also the Nigerian police, you can't be pregnant. Oh, this is the law. So it is there. It's not about holiness or morality. It is a policy. So you have to educate people. If you are a Calvarian, you work in the church and you go and buy something and then you inflate the price to collect something and you are collecting kickback, it's trouble for you. You can do that. So now when you are a worker, you can't be a worker and dress this way or do this way. These are all orientating the people about your brand. Then your stakeholders, people that represent you, people that work with you, people that you have to relate with, you have to let them know, oh, sorry, we can't do that. No, we don't do that. So that when they are going to represent you, they will tell you in advance. They will tell you what? In advance. So, for instance, now in our company, Common Sense Group, our core policy is integrity and excellence. And we define it as doing the right thing in the right way, at the right time, at all time. So there's nothing like bring cash. Nigeria, bring cash. We don't collect check. No, we don't do that. Everything has to be documented. So we cannot be coming to give you cash when we don't know what you're going to be doing with the cash. At the end of the day, we'll be hearing stories that touch. So brand orientation. So educate people. And then it takes time, especially when people come from a different culture and they come into your culture. They might be saying, what's so special now? This is the way we used to do it when I was in. No, you are no more there. You are now here. So you have the responsibility to educate people about your brand. And that's brand orientation. Then number 5, brand integrity. Brand integrity. Brand integrity. Brand integrity. Now, brand integrity is staying true to your brand. Staying true to your brand. You can't be fickle-minded. Today you are like this, tomorrow you are like that. Let me use 2 examples that I have personally experienced to teach you. Many, many years ago, there's a particular drink that they call Sans Cream Soda. Sans Cream Soda. My friend's wife was working in that company. So, one particular Christmas, they brought cartons to honor me. And I drank it and I fell in love with it. And I started buying Sans Cream Soda. This is like 15 years, a long time ago. I don't even think they're in the market again, I don't know. But it's very long. Very rich, creamy. So I started buying. All of a sudden, I bought and it looked like water and sugar and salt. What's happening? That's why I stopped buying. Number 2, La Casera. La Casera, and it came out very rich. And then everything was, then all of a sudden, it's as if something went wrong. That is brand integrity. They did not keep to the integrity of that product. Somehow, someone somewhere, either it is fake, some people are fake, they decide to do fake in Aba or Newi, and then they mess up the company. Or the company themselves felt that we are making money, let's reduce they will not know the difference. And then today, they are no more in the market. So, brand integrity. So, if you say it's 50 kg, let it be 50 kg. Don't sell rice, and then you hit the thing by the side. And then, at the end of the day, what is supposed to be 5 dirika is 4 dirika and a quarter. Because you have pushed things away. So, stay true. And that's why in every organization, Even if you don't have it as a department, have it as a policy. What do you need to have as a policy? Two things. Number one, R&D and QC. Number one, R&D. Number two, QC. What is R&D? Research and development. What is QC? Quality control. So even if you are a one-man business, you are a sole proprietor, you can be the person to check, to be sure that, look, let's continue to do research on how to develop our products to make it better. Or let's continue to check the quality of what we are giving out. So research and development and then quality control. These are two units that are existing in major multinationals that helps them to continue to stay true to their brand. Coca-Cola has been tasting the same way forever. Forever has been tasting the same way. Why? Integrity of the brand. So if they tell you, oh, this Mercedes-Benz is good. Why is it good? They stay true to the brand. If you bought Mercedes-Benz 30 years ago, or you bought Mercedes, they function. But there are some cars. Let me not go there.